Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brian Bobbitt, and I'm excited to be partnering with Ultimaker on a brand new video series all about designing for 3D printing using Autodesk Fusion. This series goes beyond just learning CAD. It's about understanding how your design decisions affect what actually comes off the printer. Over the next 6 to 8 videos, we'll build strong CAD fundamentals and connect them directly to real-world 3D printing, so your parts don't just look good, they print good. We're kicking things off with a gyroscope because it's the perfect example of geometry in motion. It naturally introduces concepts like overhangs, tolerances, clearances, and print in place design. Skills you use in almost every functional project. If you want to design smarter, print better, and truly understand what your design systems work, you're in the right place. Let's build. Our first step is to create the sketch you see on the screen. I'll be toggling back and forth between the sketch and Fusion as we proceed. In order to make life a little bit easier on us, I decided to do a side-by-side where we have the sketch to the right and Fusion on the left. We're going to go ahead and click Sketch, and we'll click the plane. I like to use the XY orientation, and now to get there, you go up to your icon, and you're going to say Preferences. And what I do is I do Y up. So by default, it's Z up. I like to do Y up in my videos. For in the classroom, it makes it easier when we do dimension drawings. So I'm always in a Y up orientation. All right, so I'll click that plane and be in sketch mode. I'm going to start with the first circle, the smallest one, and it looks to be about 1 inch. Then I'm going to press C or click the icon for circle. C is the shortcut. And I'm going to make this one 1.25. And again, I'm getting these numbers from the sketch on over here on the right. My next circle, this one's going to be 1.35. Next circle. So you can see we're going to develop quite a pattern here of circles. This is going to be 1.6. Circle again. This one will be 1.70. Circle again, pressing C. And we're going to do a 1.95. Circle again. This will be 2.05. Then we'll do another circle, and it's the final one. And we're going to say 2.30, so 2.30. All right, there are all of my circles. They're created. Now I've got a few things I've got to do to make this work, because what we're going to end up doing is do what's called a revolution. So I'm going to take my line tool here, and I'm just going to draw a line from top through the origin all the way to the bottom. And to lock that in, I'm going to do what's called a coincident constraint. I'll click that, then I'll click the line, and then I'm going to click the origin point. If you notice, that line went from blue to black. One more, we're going to take another line. I'm going to come over here somewhere to the right of this and just draw another straight up and down line, connecting both sides of the circle. Then I'm going to choose dimension. I'm going to say from that center line to the line we just drew, and I'm going to move my mouse down. I'm going to say that should be 0.25. We need to give that a bit of a gap. You're going to see that we're really only going to use half of this shape. Final thing, create. I'm going to go to rectangle, and I want to choose center rectangle right here. So center rectangle. I'm going to start there on the origin and just draw a rectangle. It doesn't matter the size because we're going to use a geometric constraint here in a second. Up here at the top where it says constraints, there's the tangent, and that's what we want. But if it doesn't show up, you can click constraints and go down to tangent. What I'm going to do is take the short side and make it tangent to the outside circle. And then I'm going to take the long side and make it tangent to that very first circle we drew. And there we go. Our sketch is created. So next up, we're going to go ahead and click Finish Sketch right here. We'll finish that sketch. And now we're going to do what's called a revolve. Revolve's right here, but we can say create and revolve if it's not showing up there at the top. And we're going to click the little rings now. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you'll notice I just made the screen bigger because my revolve was off the screen at the time. So I've selected my profiles, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to choose axis, and I'm going to click that very first line we drew through the origin. Full is perfect. New body is perfect. We'll click OK. Now I'm going to rotate it or orbit down here at the bottom, and you can see that those are created. I've actually created the gyroscope now. We can go ahead and take it one step further, and we'll right click up here where it says unsaved, and we'll say save as mesh. We will take the default. In this case, the format is 3MF. And what I like about 3MF is it saves the units that it was designed in. So we'll click OK. It'll ask us where we want to, well, first it's going to prompt us to save it. So we'll call it Gyroscope. And then I always save mine to the downloads. Then we'll open up our slicer. And in this case, we're going to use Cura. I'm going to go up to open. And I'm going to say from disk. And I'm going to choose that gyroscope that we just created, which should be up there at the top. I'm going to say open. Mine immediately puts it right there. And you'll notice that it's already divided it into components, which is actually really nice. I'm going to go ahead and hold the shift key down and select all of these. And I'm going to right click and just say center selected. Looks like I missed one, so I'll go ahead and right click on it, center the selected. Now I do want to go ahead, because if I print like that, that's not going to work. I'll go ahead and do a rotate on them. And I'll just grab my red arrows, rotate it to -90. Get the other ones as well. Rotate to -90. Now you'll notice, hey man, those aren't all on the screen. So I'm going to click them. I'll use the move tool. And I'm just going to drag them up. It doesn't really matter how far, because Cura is pretty quick and smart. And it says, hey, you probably want them to be on the base, I would imagine. So we'll get that last one. That last one went underneath. So I'll rotate it by right-clicking, holding that right mouse button down. And there we go. And I'll click Slice, and it will slice it for us. And then we can send it to the printer. And we'll print via the cloud. Now, for that to work, you're going to have to make sure that you have your printer hooked up to your network. Mine has a pretty exceptional long print time because I use the engineering scale so that it looks pretty. Depending on your printer, that time could adjust.